It's all fun and games till someone gets shot.
You guys want Lucky Chloe to return? I would give her another chance. Yeah, I want to stop people. She can't show up before Miguel, no way. Like Bob and Julia and stuff like that. But yeah, she could be in the game. Let me do a tier list real quick. We haven't did one of these tier lists where we talk about what characters we want in the game in quite some time. I would assume they start with Marduk, and then I would assume they announce Julia at Evo Japan, and then they announce Miguel at Evo Vegas, and then Kunimitsu get announced at Evo France. Because you know EU really loves Kunimitsu. But will they do a guest character or a new character? Do you guys want that? Yes or no? Guests are cool. I'd rather that. No new characters. Tekken cast is already way too big. I think we should see how Marizu plays out, and then maybe do another. See how she plays out. I want a guest character. I don't really care about a new character. We already have enough. I want a guest character though. So if you say guest character, Kunimitsu drops down to season 4. But for the sake of argument, let's just assume no. So if this is season 3 and there's no new characters or no guests, then what is season 4? I think season 4 we need Bob, right? But also 2027 new character or guest character. Because here's the thing, right? How many seasons do we think they will have total? Does anyone think that there will be a season 5, a 2028? Are we that bold? Anyone? PlayStation 9 is supposed to drop late 27, so basically early 28. A season 5 is highly unlikely. Season 5 unlikely. Why did I put S's? If season 5 is unlikely, what that means is that we have 2 years left. And the question that I then ask you is, for the final 2 years of Tekken 8, do you think that there should be a guest character or new character in that? I say most certainly. And I think if they do a new character, they should do it next year instead of the final year. They should do a new character if they're going to do another one in 26. Because if they do it in 27, the final year of Tekken 8, then what would happen is the same thing with Lydia, where that new character would also be either base roster for Tekken 9 if we're lucky. If not, they'll sell that character twice, and then you'll have the same Lydia backlash all over again. So if they are planning on doing another new character, it should be in season 3. To avoid that as much as possible. If not, then you can either do a guest character in either one. If you want to do a guest character, either season works. Either season. If you do a really insane guest character, it would suck to only get that character for like a year, a couple of months, and then new game. So once again, 26 is probably where they should do it. Could be 1 year left by me. I legit want new characters because I like the idea of seeing more creative new characters. I'm liking one of the people who shrugs at returning ones. Yeah, I like a combination of new and old and guests. The issue is look at all these idiots down here at the bottom. This is how complex the conversation is. You have all of these morons up top. Look at all these morons up here. This is like 40 something characters up here. Then you have these characters who should have been base roster, but they sold them as DLC. That same issue is going to come up in Tekken 8 again. You have all of these characters here who are fighting for 30 spots, and it's 40 of them. Really, what they should do is get rid of, let me see. Who should they get rid of? So far, this is what I think. Let me create. Okay, so look. These are characters who I think shouldn't return in T9. But you need Kuma there. So who else? Out of these names up top, which one shouldn't return in T9? Maybe Claudio. I love Claudio a lot, but I know you guys probably would point at Claudio. I mean, his usage is the lowest out of all of those. His story importance is pretty much 0 now. Why not Raven? Because his usage is low. So look, so these characters here, well, all of them aren't all of these characters extremely low usage? Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the statistics real quick. Shahid and Zafina, Claudio, Raven, check. Leo's a little bit higher, but check. Victor is doing a little bit better, but I think Victor is like a terrible character. He shouldn't return. I mean, honestly, if you're gonna cut, this is what you should cut. And they should sell Raven as DLC. But see, the reason why I did this, right? The reason why I removed these how many characters? 8 characters. If you get all of these 8 characters out of there, yes, it may hurt to lose Raven. Yes, it may hurt to lose Victor. But do you want Armor King base roster? Fakamram, Miguel, Anna, Eddie? So if you trade out these characters here, then you can free up space for 8 of these guys. Heihachi. Take your pick on the 8 here. Bob. If I was doing it, that's what I would do. I would get rid of those 8 characters, and I would only put Raven and Leo, maybe DLC, maybe Claudio, maybe. That's it. All the other ones to see ya. Maybe a tag game or something, but that's it. I'm tired of all of this dragging around dead weight. You know how Tekken players be like, no, we still need like Baek-do-san. Like, bro. And you know how like Mike Hollow always talks about Michelle? Like, bro, we gotta really put an end to that era. And this is one thing that I am happy about. Harada was the only likelihood of those characters returning because Harada created a lot of those characters, right? But Nakatsu ain't got, he probably don't care nothing about no Baek-do-san. He probably don't care nothing about no Michelle. And that's one thing that I'm like, yes, because those characters shouldn't even be a part of the question. I mean, look at how much stuff we're dealing with. Now that we have that aside, right? So this is base roster. Cut those out for Tekken 9, and then you free up space here. But before we get to Tekken 9, we got to finish off Tekken 8. So let's go back here. So back to Tekken 8, right? So season 1, season 2 done. Season 3, I think they should do a guest character. That would mean season 4 would have Bob, then Kunimitsu. Who else? Who else for a season? Who else do you guys want? I am looking at this and trying to figure out which characters are the hypest, as I almost bite my tongue. I do that like once every like 2 streams. Eliza, eh? I think Ogre is out of the equation, right? Let's make another one. And we'll put, and basically these characters like should never show up. Never bring back Akuma. Let's put it down like this. Never bring back Baek-do-san. Combat could be introduced in like some type of like fun way, but as like a roster spot, no way. I low-key kind of would say I kind of want Boskanovich back as like a fun. Okay, look, instead of saying never, let's say not now. Not now is better. Not now. Never say never. Justin Bieber taught me that. Basically, I'm putting this in order, right? I'm putting this in order. Kunimitsu's the original Kunimitsu's done for. Yeah. So all those characters, not now. And I would low-key even say Christy. And I know Bruce is going to hurt souls and feelings and whatnot, but we already have Fakamam. And I don't think Josie or Bruce should show up in this game for that reason. We're already dealing with too much stuff up here. Giving up another spot for, you know, these characters who he already has their moves. Yeah, Bruce not making it. Yeah, Bruce ain't making it. Like I would like Bruce to be here. I like Bruce more than Fakaram. I like Josie equal to Fakaram, right? So don't think this is me like trashing the characters. I'm just staring reality in the face, you know? Master Raven also not now. Eliza though, Ogre's probably dead. If they wanted to do Ogre, they wouldn't have did Marizu. Ogre's probably done for. They basically clickbaited Ogre. Kazumi's probably done for as well. That's Harada's character, not Nakatsu's. He probably doesn't care. Wang is cool. Wang, even though he's been consumed by Leroy a little bit, Wang was a mentor to Zhao Yu. Leroy's a mentor to Zhao Yu. Leroy has some of his crouch animations and subtle animations. Both like wise old, kung fu masters. Leroy Smith, he just kind of replaced the role that Wang has, that he did, you know. He's like an unofficial replay. Of course, their fighting styles is not really that similar. It's more of a symbolic. It's more so of a symbolic. Even the parry, the crouch animation, the story. But yeah. So how do we feel about this season? Season 5 would not be 3 female characters. They wouldn't do that at all. So maybe they would throw in like a new something here or something. Maybe they would, I don't know, Wang or something. They barely have the guts to make their women like above college age. They ain't got the guts to do 3 female characters at once. Yeah, season 5 confirmed Gooner season. Yeah, they ain't got the guts. They would never put Eliza and Lucky Chloe. This is literally like yeah, you summarized it, bro. The only way to make this even more Gooner if they put like, this is like a Twitter season. If you ask someone on Twitter what their season looks like, what their perfect season, it's this. Twitter would be like, yeah, Tekken is saved. I feel it though. Even though I'm trolling and making jokes, I don't dislike these characters. I don't dislike them at all. I like Eliza, and I think that she probably would be better balanced in Tekken 8. Katarina, I liked her all the way up until the end where they overbuffed her. Lucky Chloe is cool. I'm a Yoshi main, and Yoshi could hard counter her in a lot of ways, so maybe that's why I don't hate her as much as you guys do. And then Christine is cool, but the only thing against her is that she's a copycat of Eddie, which is one of the most iconic characters ever. And she should, one, never replace him, but then two, she can never live up to what he is. And also, we should probably never have both of those characters on the roster at the same time in a base Tekken game. So, but this is roughly like what it can be, because they would not do this. They would not do that. They would not do that. They would not put Bob in way over here. This is probably best case scenario we can hope for. Something like that. That's probably best case scenario. Guest character in season 4, and then season 5 probably wouldn't even happen. Even though Harada's no longer here, remember when Harada said that 2D characters kind of just don't work with Tekken. Now, some people think that was a smoke screen. You know, 2D characters don't fit well in the game. We couldn't figure it out in Tekken 7, you know? And then surprise, surprise, 2D characters, next character, right? What do you guys think about this? I mean, I think this is the most realistic approach we could take. This is what I really think. I don't know if Lei or Katarina makes it. I know they're requested though, so I'll put them back. That's the most realistic approach. You don't want Marduk back, but he's popular. Marduk is more popular than some of these other characters. But this is the issue. This line right here, these characters should not be in the game anymore. These characters should be left in the past. Really not Claudio. Not Claudio for sure. Let me put this in order from on the left side is the characters who are the most salvageable. On the right side is like, you gotta get rid of those characters. They should never return ever. And I really think the cutoff point is Zafina. Zafina and Back should never be in the game. These characters, you can probably salvage them. You got time. At least 4. Like, at least these 4, you get those 4 out of the way. That frees up Eddie, Heihachi, Armor King, Anna, base roster. Boom.